Every time he throws.
Like this. And that's that leg.
Oh, and now, oh my goodness.
What is going on?
Is it his ACL?
He steps. Now watch his right leg. He steps on it and right there.
Oh, yep. Yep, you can see it.
Tries to throw it again, and it buckles. It gives out. That's crazy. That is literally crazy. Look, it gives out again.
Exchange with him and he'd shoot in. What's happened? Oh my God, McGregor's done already. Well, he's finished. The new boy is in town. The main man's here. Know what I mean? I can become the face of the organisation now. But yeah, great. What a performance from me. Don't want to blow smoke up my own ass, but what a performance.
I'd like to talk to him, unfortunately. Hey guys, let's get up for Conor McGregor, guys. What an absolute animal. When we was in here, he kept trying to say, I was trying to come and fight, and he kept having to fight off. Hey, but you guys are lucky, because there's going to be a Holloway versus McGregor tree now. Let's get to the fucking money, boys. I understand you'd like to see him.
Might have actually been the game plan. I mean, it might have been the game plan to just charge out. And look, he threw the kick with the broken leg, right? He's got this titanium rod through the center of his tibia.
I was expecting at least a one-round war, or, you know, who knew what Conor was capable of as far as cardio or whatever else after a 5-year layoff. And, well, there you go. I mean, we're assuming blown ACL. I'm no doctor, but that's what I figured when I saw it, and doctors think the same thing too.
Conor McGregor's long-awaited UFC comeback has ended in the worst possible way. A devastating ACL injury during his fight against Holloway has left fans questioning whether the Notorious will ever fight again. Is this the final chapter of one of MMA's biggest superstars? After the shocking loss at UFC 329, Joe Rogan, Daniel Cormier, Michael Bisping and other MMA experts shared their honest reactions, breaking down the injury, the fight, and what this heartbreaking defeat means for Conor's future. Did this loss end a fight or an entire legendary career? As the arena struggled to process what had just happened, all eyes shifted to Max Holloway. Despite having his hand raised, there was no real celebration after such a heartbreaking ending. Holloway admitted he was disappointed the fight ended so quickly after months of preparation. Instead of celebrating, he immediately called for a rematch, making it clear he still wants to face Conor McGregor in the fight that fans were expecting to see.
Snaps his foot and he winces in pain. Fuck! I fucking hate my life! This is the one fucking escape I get, and it's shit! And McGregor's just limping around like my fucking nan! Fuck!
The shocking finish left the entire MMA community stunned, and MMA Guru's live reaction said it all. As Conor McGregor suffered the devastating injury, frustration quickly turned into disbelief. After months of anticipation, the main event was over within seconds, leaving serious questions about whether Conor's UFC career can ever recover.
React in a way that just led to that. Well, it might have actually been the game plan. I mean, it might have been the game plan to just charge out. And look, he threw the kick with the broken leg, right? He's got this titanium rod through the center of his tibia. That's the kick he threw, maybe to prove that he can still kick with that leg. I mean, I don't know why he did it that way. No one will know. Only Conor knows. It's just, we're all just, well, really seemed like he was back for the right reasons for legacy. And now potentially there will be another build, or not. We shall see. All right, more thoughts coming up.
As questions continued to surround Conor McGregor's devastating knee injury, Joe Rogan shifted the focus to something even more intriguing: his game plan. Rogan wondered whether Conor's explosive opening attack was actually planned from the start, suggesting he may have wanted to prove he could still throw powerful kicks with his surgically repaired leg. But in the end, Rogan admitted that only Conor truly knows what his intentions were. Following the fight, Max Holloway opened up about Conor's injury, revealing what happened inside the octagon during those chaotic moments.
There was a camp at 170. There was a lot of things going on. It lasted a few seconds. Tell me about those couple of seconds and what your takeaway from them is.
I had him weak in the knees. What can I say? You know. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. We gotta do a third. Hopefully his injury is not too crazy. I know he was saying that they wanted him back in April. I can do that. That'd be fun. I want to actually feel what this 170 weight cracking and power that he says he has. So maybe we can do it back. Right now I'm just praying for the guy. You know, all jokes aside, as a human being, even when I was in there, you could see me telling the ref, bro, this guy is done. Just let it go. And the referee was telling me, bro, thank you for pushing me because it was a hard spot. He had a hard feeling. And Conor's crazy. Conor's like, fight. I was like, you're fucking crazy, bro.
Oh, he was yelling at you from the bottom?
For the first one, when he first fell down, he was like, fight, I'm good. And when we went down the second time, I could just tell, like, his whole demeanor changed. I was like, bro, this Conor's fight, you know?
Max, that's why you are so beloved in this sport, is because...
Speaking after the event, Max Holloway revealed that the heartbreaking finish wasn't the fight he had trained for. Despite securing the victory, he admitted there was little satisfaction because the contest ended before either man could truly test themselves. Holloway expressed genuine concern for Conor McGregor's condition, saying his first priority was hoping the injury wasn't too serious. He also revealed that even inside the octagon, he could immediately tell something was wrong and urged the referee to stop the action. Still, Max made one thing clear. He wants the trilogy, believing the real fight is still waiting to happen.
Dana, can you, I think we're all trying to process everything. I guess, can we get your immediate thoughts? It felt like, honestly, one of the best fight cards of all time, and then we get to this weird main event ending. So I guess your immediate thoughts as you sit there right now.
Yeah, listen, everybody who knows anything about the fight business, and it's been a big topic of discussion leading up to this fight. 5 years off in this sport is rough. And like you said, great card, unbelievable. I mean, the Paddy Pimblett thing right before, you just feel it all in the air. Here we go. I mean, I was expecting at least a one-round war, or, you know, who knew what Conor was capable of as far as cardio or whatever else after a 5-year layoff. And, well, there you go. I mean, we're assuming blown ACL. I'm no doctor, but that's what I figured when I saw it, and doctors think the same thing too.
I was going to ask you, have you had a chance to talk to Conor? It sounds like you've talked to the medical team. Have you talked to Conor? Do we know exactly the extent of what happened?
I haven't. Is he coming out here? We'll see. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I think he left the arena like.
Then the answer is no. We'll find out when he gets an MRI.
Max said right away, like, hey, man, well, now we got to set this thing up for a trilogy, right? I mean, is there any desire from that, from your point? I mean, you know promoting better than anyone. Like, does that even make sense to do a trilogy right now? Or the way that ended, do you have to go a different direction?
I don't even know. I don't know. You know, you got to take some time. And I don't know if you know this or not, but I don't like talking about making fights the night of the fight. But definitely not in this.
After one of the most exciting UFC cards in recent memory came to a heartbreaking end, all attention shifted to Dana White. Speaking moments after the event, the UFC president addressed the shocking injury that ended Conor McGregor's comeback in just seconds. While fans immediately began talking about an ACL tear and a possible trilogy with Max Holloway, Dana refused to make any rushed decisions. Instead, he explained why Conor's medical results and the outcome of his MRI would determine what happens next in the former champion's career.
The excitement for Conor McGregor coming back after all this time, 5 years away from the sport, after breaking his leg, was at an all-time high, okay? But we know what happened. If you're watching this right now, you know what happened. You know what happened. He went out there, he threw a jumping, flying kick, blew his knee out. They said probably his ACL, who knows? Maybe a meniscus, maybe his ACL, maybe his PCL. That's what I did when I was training with George St. Pierre back in the day in 2005. I blew out my PCL. That's why I got a knee replacement. What I'm saying is that this sport is very, very unforgiving, okay? And Conor McGregor came back after 5 years and the appetite was there. The thirst was there. And I'm sure the hunger was there on the side of Conor McGregor. But it took about 15 seconds. 15 seconds is all it took. He ran out there, he jumped in the air, he flew a flying kick, which was unadvisable. It was, because the man's almost 40 years old. And then he blew his knee out. And Max Holloway knew straight away. And fair play to Max Holloway, right? He was even telling the referee, going, yo, there's something not right here. There's something not right, okay?
Michael Bisping admitted that the anticipation surrounding Conor McGregor's return had reached an all-time high after 5 years away from the octagon. But instead of witnessing a legendary comeback, fans watched the fight end in less than 15 seconds following a devastating knee injury. Reflecting on the moment, Bisping explained just how unforgiving MMA can be, while also praising Max Holloway for immediately recognizing that something was seriously wrong and urging the referee to intervene.
Yeah, I mean, that's not it. What it is that you just tried a crazy move. He tried a crazy move. He tried a jumping roundhouse kick. And when you're in that position, when you throw that jumping roundhouse kick, if you don't land in a good way with the supporting leg, you put so much pressure on that knee. The way he landed, he threw the kick, he jumped up, he threw it, and he landed with his knee, the worst position. Well, Joe, it's like when we throw a kick, right? We do step off. You step off. You don't jump through the air and then land in the step off position as if opening your hip to throw a kick. It's like watch this. That is just a crazy amount of torque. Well, watch, look how his foot turns sideways. It pops right there. He's blew his ACL. I mean, look at him off to the side. You can see it shift. You can see his leg shift. He blew his ACL out with the very first movement he did. I mean, look, it sucks, but it's just, you don't do that. Yeah. And especially because Max was moving, so he's adjusting. So as he's throwing the kick in the air,
rather than blaming bad luck alone, Joe Rogan focused on the technique behind the injury itself. Breaking down the replay frame by frame, he explained how one explosive jumping kick placed enormous pressure on Conor McGregor's supporting knee. According to Rogan, the awkward landing created the perfect conditions for an ACL tear, turning what was meant to be an aggressive opening attack into a devastating injury that ended the fight before it had a chance to unfold. One replay exposed the exact moment Conor McGregor's knee failed and changed the fight forever.
In terms of finally returning and the adrenaline pumping to maybe even attempt a move like this right off the bat. So he tried this spinning roundhouse kick to start the fight, literally coming right out of his corner, attempting to do this kick to Max Holloway. The landing here is the injury. Essentially, as soon as he lands here, that right knee, ACL, blows out. Right? Now he tries to continue fighting. As always, Conor's got balls. He continued to try to fight. Could barely stand up, fell off his feet 3 more times or 2 more times, and couldn't continue eventually. But I want you guys to watch this again, right? So I want to point out the mechanism here. So when he jumps, obviously it's a very rotational kick, right? You're rotating with a lot of force, a lot of power. When the foot hits the ground, right here, it becomes essentially stuck, right? Stuck in this position here. It can't move anymore. As soon as it hits the ground, it could spin a little bit, but it really can't move. But the hips are still spinning with a lot of force. Not to mention the fact that whenever a foot does hit the ground, especially from a jump like that, the ground reaction forces are many times your body weight. So it's not just a body weight of 170. Here's a body weight of 170 times many more factors into that basically causes a huge amount of torque that starts to continue to spin the femur on a fixed tibia, right? The tibia is now in contact with the ground, and now the femur continues to rotate. That's one of the #1 mechanisms for the ACL tearing. The second thing, and they go together, is the fact that all that force that he was jumping with and landing with, there's a lot of anterior displacement in that direction.
To understand what really caused Conor McGregor's devastating knee injury, physiotherapist Jeff Cavalieri carefully analyzed the opening exchange frame by frame. Rather than calling it bad luck, he explained that the injury resulted from a high-risk spinning kick combined with an awkward landing that placed enormous rotational force through the knee. As Conor's foot became firmly planted, the upper body continued to rotate, creating the exact movement that commonly tears the ACL. Cavalieri's technical breakdown provides one of the clearest explanations of how a single explosive move ended McGregor's long-awaited comeback within just a few seconds.
Everything that I have heard so far is talking about the jumping kick or the kicks by Conor and the leg going out. I didn't see what Joe Rogan saw. Joe Rogan was confident in telling the broadcast world that he blew out his knee. That may be accurate information. I'm just sharing for you. I didn't see that. Now, the moment, if you go back and rewatch this fight, the moment where you question and go, oh no, You know, oh no, this human, this young man, Conor, isn't ready. He didn't prepare right. He throws a punch, right? We're all thinking of the kicks, but if you rewatch it, he threw a punch and he went down. He lost his balance. He lost his balance on a punch. And that's where I saw, okay, this is not going to be any different than Chuck or Tito. This isn't going to be any.
While most of the MMA world focused on Conor McGregor's kick, Chael Sonnen noticed something entirely different. Looking back at the footage, he pointed to an earlier moment that convinced him the comeback was already in. According to Sonnen, the biggest warning sign wasn't the injury itself, but the way Conor lost his balance during a simple exchange. For him, that brief moment suggested the former champion didn't look like the same fighter who once dominated the sport.
Yeah, I mean, I had the man weak in the knees, I guess, so. You know, all jokes aside, I just hope he's good, you know. I know Conor been battling some stuff. Looked like he really been changing. You know, he found God. He had his kids in there, so, you know, during the fight, you could obviously tell his demeanor changed, you know. And I was, you know, shout out to the ref. I was trying to tell the ref sooner, you know. Like, this guy's kids is front row, you know. I don't want to see him take unnecessary damage. Trying to stop the fight, but this is how crazy Conor is. The first time he's on the ground, I was punching him. He's like, fight. I was like, okay. That's why I backed up. I said, stand up there. Let's fight. And then he fell back down, and then the fight was called.
I mean, you've been in the UFC octagon more than anybody, right? But I just wonder, like, you knew you had a wounded guy, but it's almost hard for you to stay mentally focused. Like, hold on, remember what we're here to do. You know, I got to go hurt this guy.
Not at all, you know. We killers. But at the end of the day, I'm a human being, you know what I mean? I think so. That's why.
Although Max Holloway walked away with the victory, his attention quickly shifted from winning the fight to Conor McGregor's condition. Reflecting on the chaotic moments inside the octagon, Max revealed that he immediately realized something was seriously wrong and even tried to get the referee damage was done. Despite the fierce rivalry, Holloway praised Conor's toughness and admitted that, beyond competition, fighter safety became his biggest concern once he saw the injury unfold.
And it's a shame. It is a shame. Conor McGregor's lived a great life. He's still living a great life. He has earned a ridiculous amount of money. But it's a shame for the fans. It's a shame for Max Holloway. And it's a shame for Conor McGregor. When you consider what he has done for this sport, and I'm not a Conor McGregor fanboy, far from it. But you can't deny the impact that he's had on this sport. You just can't.
As the disappointment began to sink in, Michael Bisping looked beyond the result and focused on what the sport had truly lost. Regardless of opinions about Conor McGregor, Bisping believed this was the ending nobody wanted to see. He explained why the heartbreaking finish was a loss not only for the fans and Max Holloway, but also for one of the biggest stars in UFC history.
29, Conor McGregor. The big question is, let me know in the comment section, will he ever fight again? The sport is a better place with Conor McGregor involved. The hype, the anticipation, all of it with Conor McGregor here in town this week was at an all-time high. It was crazy, it really was. But will he fight again? Will he come back? He's just 5 years away from the sport, and now?
With Conor McGregor's future suddenly in doubt, Michael Bisping raised the question every MMA fan was asking. After such a devastating setback, can the Notorious make one more comeback, or has the UFC seen him compete for the final time? Here's what Bisping had to say.
When you do all of that, there is a potential that you get injured before the event, right? So, but he comes into the fight, and the very first thing, it's very traditional for Conor McGregor. The very traditional thing that Conor McGregor does is that he likes to start fast, whether he's throwing a big kick or he's throwing, a high kick. He comes across the void, does a kick, throws it, and he lands not flat. He lands on his toes and his knee. You can see the rip on his knee, and you see his face, and he goes, and he drops down. Right there, you can tell that this was a knee injury.
Watching the replay, former UFC champion Demetrius Johnson immediately identified the risky movement that changed everything. Rather than focusing on the result, he broke down Conor McGregor's explosive opening attack and explained how a single awkward landing appeared to trigger the devastating knee injury. For Johnson, the warning signs were visible the moment Conor hit the canvas.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
hurt.
Oh no, did he hurt his fucking knee?
Yep.
No. No. No freaking way.
Dude, what a fucking...
Oh no. If I'm Max, I let him up. I let him up. Let him up, Max. Yeah, that left knee's compromised.
Oh, fuck. And Max knew, like, he didn't want to keep hitting him.
Yeah, Max is yelling at the ref.
Jesus Christ. Are they saying it's the knee? It looks that's Big Ben 1000%.
Brendan Schaub's live reaction captured exactly what millions of fans were feeling as the shocking scene unfolded inside the octagon. The moment Conor McGregor collapsed, Schaub immediately feared the worst, believing a serious knee injury had ended the fight before it had truly begun. As the replay continued, he also noticed something many viewers missed. Max Holloway instantly realized his opponent was badly hurt. Rather than rushing in to finish the fight, Max appeared more concerned with getting the referee's attention, showing just how clear it was that Conor could no longer properly defend himself.
Everybody's woo, in the whining because Conor McGregor. Guys, get over it. It is what it is. It's part of the game. Hope we'll see him back. We got some more fights coming up pretty soon. And we got Precision dropping this Monday with me and Izzy. We're going to be chopping up UFC 329 to get his thoughts on this because he's fought injured. He's fought with a broken nose before and he fought through it. Some athletes can do it. Some athletes can't. And guys...
Although Conor McGregor's injury shocked the MMA world, Demetrius Johnson reminded fans that setbacks like these are part of the sport. Speaking from his own experience, the former UFC champion explained that every fighter responds to injuries differently. While some continue through pain, others simply can't, making moments like this an unfortunate but unavoidable reality inside the octagon.
Yeah, it's really early to say, and I got to be honest, I don't see the UFC running this one back. There's a lot of dust that needs to settle. First off, we need to find out exactly what the injury is to Conor McGregor, how long he's going to be out. Does he still want to continue? And then you start talking about his contract. He has one fight left on his UFC contract, and I felt that the result of this one was really going to push the UFC and him one way or another. Would he stay with the UFC, or would he potentially fight out his contract and go off and fight somewhere else, take on an exhibition match, whatever the case is as his career continues. He turns 38 in 3 days. So again, a lot of dust to unsettle. I don't anticipate him. Obviously, if it's a torn ACL, the soonest he could come back is about a year, and that's being ambitious given his age and what his body has been through. So a lot to unpack, but I got to say, I do not believe that we will see a Max Holloway versus Conor McGregor fight. If he does fight again in the UFC, it'll be some sort of either a nostalgic fight against an older fighter, or the UFC will give him somebody that they want to grow, like a Paddy Pimblett or someone of that nature.
While many fans immediately began calling for a trilogy, ESPN's Brett Okamoto believed it was far too early to think about another fight with Max Holloway. According to him, Conor McGregor's recovery timeline, contract situation, and long-term motivation are now far more important than any potential rematch. If the injury is confirmed as a torn ACL, Okamoto believes the road back could take at least a year, raising even bigger questions about what kind of opponent and what kind of future still awaits Conor inside the UFC. What started as one of the most anticipated comebacks in UFC history ended in a way that nobody expected. Instead of answering questions about Conor McGregor's legacy inside the octagon, UFC 329 created even bigger ones. Was this simply an unfortunate injury, or was it a sign that the years away from competition had finally caught up with him? From Joe Rogan and Daniel Cormier to Michael Bisping, Max Holloway, Chael Sonnen, and many other MMA voices, one thing became clear: this result has left the entire sport searching for answers. Now everything depends on Conor's recovery. If the ACL injury is confirmed, the road back will be long, and at this stage of his career, every decision will matter more than ever. Whether he returns for one final run or this becomes the last chapter of one of MMA's greatest careers remains to be seen. But now we want to hear from you. Do you believe Conor McGregor still has one more comeback left, or has UFC 329 marked the end of the Notorious era? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss latest UFC news, reactions and fight analysis.